Hello again, Chapter 12, The Tribe of the Quetzali. We continue our walk through the market, dodging our way through the throng of people and animals. Colourful birds call out from the trees, and I flinch as a man walks past me with a long green snake curled across his shoulders. Instinctively, I grab Sidoni's hand and squeeze tightly. I've never been a lover of reptiles, and especially not when they aren't trapped safely inside a glass enclosure at the zoo. Sidoni laughs her soft, sweet laugh and squeezes my hand reassuringly. Don't worry, my lovely. You'll soon get used to this place. I'm not sure that I'll ever get used to this strange place, but sure beats school and the local library book club. Eventually, we come to the end of the market and make our way down a steep, rocky track into a kind of valley. As we walk along the path, the landscape around us changes and becomes overgrown with tropical plants in thick, dark shades of green. Tall trees stretch ahead of us, some with vines and creepers hanging from their branches. It looks a bit like a scene from the movie Jungle Book. Monkeys swing from branch to branch, and just in the distance I can barely see the outline of what looks like a type of deer. The light is fading a little as the undergrowth becomes thicker, and I have to be careful not to trip on the roots that twist and turn across the forest floor. I'm still holding Sidoni's hand in front of me as she leads me through this unfamiliar place, and I'm none the wiser as to where we're going or what we're trying to find. Are we in the jungle? I ask, thinking that I've seen pictures of places like this during our Amazon rainforest topic in geography last year. Sidoni slows down as we reach a slight clearing and stops to turn and face me. Welcome to El Piten, she says, sweeping her hand around dramatically. El Piten? I repeat. Where on earth is El Piten? And could you please tell me what the heck is going on? Sidoni laughs again. I've never met anybody so cheerful. She could seriously teach my grumpy maths teacher a thing or two. Sidoni points to a fallen tree and sits down, gesturing for me to sit beside her. I sit down grateful for the rest. It's really hot and sticky now, and my feet are aching from all those stone steps and our trek through Tarzan country. This is the El Peten jungle, says Sidoni, deep in the heart of Guatemala. I really wish I'd listened a bit more carefully in geography now, because I cannot for the life of me picture where Guatemala is on the map of the world. As if reading my mind, Sidoni says, Guatemala is way down past the south of America and Mexico. If you travelled to the bottom of Mexico and kept on going, you would reach Guatemala. Oh, I say, not much clearer than I was before, but at least I have some idea of where in the world we are. I daren't even begin to ask her how I got here from a creepy shop at the back of a flea market and down a set of stone steps, though. Sidoni continues, we are at present deep in the heart of the El Peten jungle. And if you look over there to the far north, you will see the mountains. We are travelling to the highest mountain as the Volcan del Fuego. Volcan de Fuego? I asked nervously. My Spanish isn't up to much, but I reckon that volcan is Spanish for volcano, and that makes me very nervous indeed. Sidoni laughs again. Don't be nervous. It hasn't erupted for years. How is it that she seems to know exactly what I'm thinking without me saying anything? And it's because I have a sixth sense, you know, she giggles again, that I seem to know what you're thinking. It's one of the reasons I got asked to work for Dottie. Not many people can fool me, you know. Now I am seriously freaked out. It's hard enough making sure you say the right thing all the time, let alone spending time with someone who can read your mind too. Now then, my lovely, continues Sidoni, we are fast running out of time, so I need to fully put you in the picture. Guatemala is a beautiful country, full of thick, lush jungle and high mountains dating back thousands of years. Many years ago, the Aztec tribe ruled these lands. They were a force to be reckoned with, a mystical, magical people who are believed to have possessed great powers. They practiced many spells and enchantments, sometimes curing the sick, but also cursing those who dared to cross their path or break with their traditions. One tribe remains, still as strong as ever, although living more secretively than before. In recent years, modern people have become less tolerant of their traditions, and they've been forced higher into the mountains, living an isolated and secretive life. What has all this got to do with my Gran? I ask, feeling worried that my Gran has become involved with what seems to be a group of witch doctors. Well, the last few years have been fairly peaceful for the tribe of the Quetzali, explained Sidoni. The tribe of the Quetzali were named after one of Guatemala's rarest and most beautiful birds, the Quetzali bird. They were ruled by a wise and peaceful queen called Atatotzli. She's a woman of great beauty and knowledge. The Quetzali were more prosperous than they'd ever been, having amassed great fortunes in rare and precious gems from the deepest corners of the globe and spells and enchantments collected from the great magical mines of faraway lands. I can hardly believe my ears. This is the story of make-believe, of fantasy, surely not the kind of stuff that happens to plain old Molly from Class 4S. Sidoni smiles again. And I don't have to ask to know that her smile is because she knows exactly what I am thinking. Anyway, she says, although Queen Atatotzli ruled her tribe in peace and harmony, their great wealth and knowledge has made them extremely powerful. Queen Atatotzli in charge, they would not dare to use their magic for anything other than good, and she certainly wouldn't tolerate greed or violence within her tribe. You make it sound like something has changed, I say, feeling strangely anxious about her reply. You are a bright little button, Molly Moo, she says. I can see why your Gran is so proud of you. I smile at her, comforted by her use of the nickname given to me by my Gran. I also realise how much I am missing my Gran, and how I long to hear her call my name by that name herself. We will find her, Molly, says Sidoni, once again reading my thoughts. So what has changed for the tribe of the Quetzali, I ask. Queen Atatotzli has gone missing, replies Sidoni. It is believed that a gang of members within the tribe had grown tired of being ruled by their queen and were anxious to make a name for themselves. They craved power and riches and were tired of being told what to do. That's terrible, I explain. Do the rest of the tribe know? Where has she gone? Good grief, no, replies Sidoni. The rest of the tribe would be furious if they knew there were traitors in their midst. They love their queen dearly. The gang, who go by the name of Nuevo Vida, had to be very careful to work in secrecy and for nobody else to realise that they were behind the plot. Their plan was to get Queen Atatotzli out of the way, but to make it look like a mysterious disappearance. Once the rest of the tribe were preoccupied with searching for their queen, then the Nuevo Vida gang could work their way into power, cursing those who stood in their way and stealing jewels and treasures to fund their quest. But that kind of power could be lethal in the wrong hands, I exclaim. Exactly, my lovely, says Sidoni, which is why they cannot be allowed to be successful. But that still doesn't explain how Granny Moo is involved, I say. Granny Moo was called to Guatemala by a tip-off from one of our other agents who had infiltrated the tribe of the Quetzali after hearing a whisper of the Queen's disappearance whilst on another mission, says Sidoni. He phoned through to Dottie to inform them that Queen Atatotzli had mysteriously disappeared, and he was worried that the plan was the work of the Nuevo Vida gang. They'd been on the Dottie radar for some time under the watchful eye of Iris. Iris, I ask. Sorry, I keep forgetting you're not fully one of us yet, giggles Sidoni. Iris is our department for investigations regarding international suspects, IRIS. Oh, of course, silly me, I answer sarcastically. Obvious, really. My head is starting to spin. All this talk of tribes, magic, precious gems, and seemingly loads of people investigating the world's most dangerous criminals under the names of a bunch of old ladies is making me dizzy. So, to cut a long story short, continues Sidoni, Agent X contacted Iris, who sent Granny Moo from Dottie to investigate the disappearance of Queen Atatotzli. Unfortunately, when your Gran arrived, she was wearing one of her quirky hats that had a brightly coloured feather in the brim, and, more unfortunately, that feather just happened to be from the tail feathers of the Quetzal bird. The tribe of the Quetzali took the feather as a sign from their queen that she was watching over them and would return as their queen some day. They have since held your Gran captive, even though she's safe and living in great luxury, as their new leader until the return of their beloved Queen Atatotzli. This means we now have 3 problems. 1, we have to find Queen Atatotzli and return her safely to her tribe. 2, we have to keep your Gran safe from the Nuevo Vida gang, who are less than happy about having a new queen to put a stop to their plans. And finally, we have to steal your Gran away from the tribe of the Quetzali and return you and her safely back home. At this point, I'm mighty glad that I'm sitting down. Otherwise, I'm afraid I may have fallen over in shock. I could never have dreamed that my Gran's visits to Auntie Dottie would result in such adventures. So how do we do all that, I ask? Well, first, we must travel to the Volcan de Fuego to find Mama Patley, the wise old medicine woman, says Sidoni, as if this were the easiest thing in the world. She will help us to make a truth serum to trick the members of the Nuevo Vida gang into revealing the whereabouts of Queen Atatotzli. Once we find her, the rest should just all fall into place. I mumble. Not sure I can imagine any of this whole situation just falling into place. Sidonie stands up and holds out her hand to pull me up from my resting place on the fallen tree. Come on, we'd better be going. Our lift will be here any minute, and the jungle is no place to be at dusk. I stand up, dreading to think who or what form our lift will take, and follow Sidonie towards a clearing in the jungle foliage. A stony track twists and turns its way into the distance, where I can see Volcan de Fuego standing majestically amongst the clouds. I'm seriously hoping that those are wispy clouds and not smoke around the top of the huge mountain. Dormant or not, I do not relish the thought of travelling to the top of a still smouldering, smoking volcano. What's going to happen next? Next is Chapter 13, Mama Patley's Cave. I think I enjoyed writing this chapter almost the best, actually. See you soon.